The moment Nurse Natalie Reyes touched me, I knew I was in trouble. Not the broken ribs and concussion kind of trouble, though yeah, the car crash took care of that. No, this was the kind of trouble that sent heat pooling low in my stomach when her fingers brushed my hip as she adjusted my hospital gown. The kind that made my breath hitch when she leaned over me, her vanilla and disinfectant scent wrapping around me like a promise. Her dark eyes flicked up, catching me staring. "Still dizzy," she murmured, her thumb stroking the inside of my wrist where the 4 had been. I swallowed hard. Dizzy? Try fucking ruined. Because here's the thing about nearly dying, it makes you realize what you really want. And right now? I wanted her. Chapter 1, The Accident. Rain lashed against Emily Carter's windshield in relentless sheets. The wipers struggled to keep up as she squinted through the storm, her hands clenched on the steering wheel. The clock on her dashboard read 11:37 p.m., another late shift at the bookstore. Just get home. Just a few more blocks. Her phone buzzed in the cup holder. A text from her mom. "Sweetie, are you driving in this? Pull over if it's too bad." Emily reached to reply. Screech. Tires hydroplaned. Headlights blinded her. Crash. Metal screamed. Glass exploded. Then, nothing. Chapter 2, Waking Up. Consciousness returned in fragments. First, the pain, a throbbing ache in her skull, a sharp sting with every breath. Then, the sounds, beeping machines, distant voices, the squeak of shoes on linoleum. Finally, the smell, antiseptic, bleach, sterile air. Hospital. Emily groaned, forcing her eyes open. Blurry shapes swam into focus, white walls, a 4-stand, her. A woman in blue scrubs stood by the bed, dark curls escaping her messy bun, warm brown eyes scanning a clipboard. Her name tag read, Natalie Reyes, RN. "Welcome back," Natalie said, her voice smooth as honey. "You gave us quite a scare." Emily's throat burned. What happened?" "Car accident. You've got bruised ribs, a mild concussion, and some nasty cuts." Natalie checked Emily's 4 with gentle fingers. "But you're lucky." Emily shivered, not from pain, but from the way Natalie's touch lingered on her wrist a second too long. "Why does that feel electric?" Chapter 3, Lingering Looks. Over the next 3 days, Natalie became Emily's anchor in the sterile chaos of the hospital. She brought extra blankets when Emily shivered. She smuggled in real coffee instead of the hospital's weak tea. And she stayed, chatting during her breaks, telling stories about chaotic night shifts that made Emily laugh until her ribs ached. One evening, Natalie leaned close to check Emily's bandages. Her perfume, vanilla and something earthy, filled Emily's senses. "You're healing well," Natalie murmured, fingers brushing Emily's bare shoulder as she adjusted the gown. Emily's breath hitched. Natalie paused. Their eyes locked. A beat. 2. Then Natalie cleared her throat and stepped back. Was that tension? Chapter 4, The Realization. That night, Emily couldn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Natalie's smile. The way her scrubs hugged her curves. The warmth of her hands. This isn't just gratitude. Memories flashed. The flutter in her stomach when Natalie laughed. How she'd never felt this way about any of her past boyfriends. The way her skin tingled at Natalie's touch. Emily sat up abruptly, ignoring the pain. Oh my God. I like women. I like her. The realization should have terrified her. Instead, it felt like coming home. Chapter 5, Confessions and Kisses. The next morning, Natalie arrived with 2 coffee cups, real coffee, not the hospital swill. You look exhausted, she teased, handing one to Emily. Emily wrapped her hands around the warm cup. I didn't sleep much. I was thinking. Natalie raised an eyebrow. About? Emily's pulse roared in her ears. No going back now. About you. Silence. Natalie's breath caught. Then, slowly, she took the coffee from Emily's hands and set it aside. Emily. Their lips met. Soft. Tentative. Perfect. When they pulled apart, Natalie's cheeks were flushed. I've wanted to do that since day one. Emily grinned. Took you long enough. Epilogue, 1 month later. Emily's discharge papers fluttered in her hands as Natalie walked her to the hospital doors. You sure you're ready to leave? Natalie asked, lacing their fingers together. Emily squeezed her hand. Only if you promise to keep seeing me. Natalie laughed, pulling her close. Oh, I'm not letting you go that easy. And as they stepped into the sunlight, Emily realized. Sometimes, the best things in life come from unexpected crashes. Final chapter, discharge papers and other promises. Natalie's fingers traced idle circles on the inside of Emily's wrist as she pretended to check her pulse for the third time that morning. Vitals are perfect, Natalie lied, her voice dropping to that husky register that made Emily's thighs press together. Though your heart rate's a little elevated. Emily smirked. Wonder why? The curtain around the hospital bed was half drawn, enough privacy for Natalie to lean down and whisper against her lips, "You're officially cleared for discharge. But I'm off at 7. Emily caught her scrub collar, pulling her closer. That a prescription, Nurse Reyes? Natalie's laugh was warm against her mouth. Take as needed. Multiple doses recommended. Epilogue, 2 weeks later. The apartment smelled like burnt pizza and Natalie's perfume. Emily watched her pad barefoot across the kitchen, scrubs traded for an old band tee that slid off one shoulder. Proof she'd stayed the night. Proof she'd keep staying. Still think this was a bad idea? Natalie asked, nodding at the fading yellow bruise on Emily's ribs, the last remnant of the crash. Emily caught her waist, pulling her into her lap. Best accident of my life. Natalie's lips found hers, slow and deep and home, when Emily's phone buzzed on the counter. Mom, don't forget dinner tonight. Bring that nice nurse who saved you. Natalie nipped at her bottom lip. Tell her you're bringing the nurse who ruined you. Emily grinned against her mouth. Finally, a diagnosis that felt like the truth.